Jerome Wright here, and once again you're joining me here on my Jerome Wright channel. Okay, in this video I'm back at the Fazzini sculpture, which is a sculptured supposedly work of art done by Fazzini, I believe back in 1974, and it's located at the Nervi Hall. And the Nervi Hall is the building named after its architect and builder, which is Nervi. And it's located in Vatican City, I believe, adjacent to that of St. Peter's Square. Okay, that building from a sky view, I don't know if you can see it there. There's a piece of it here. There's a piece of the building there. It is my position that I've discovered and decoded not only what the building stands for, but what does the sculpture stands for and what goes on inside of the building. Okay, and these cult comparable rituals that I found to be happening. Now, this building from the top that you see, it's my position that that building is designed by the designer, the architect, as being a model after a snake. This here is not a cobra head, a boa constrictor's head. It's my position that that's what this building is modeled after. All right, I'll tell you how I get to arriving at that. I only have 15 minutes, so I have to cut through the chase and get to what I'm going to here. I'm going to give you an image of the inside of the building and tell you how I arrived at that being the outside, being modeled after a snake. By the way, if you go back into the ancient history, I believe it is with Apollo or one of those, I forget who it was, who was in Rome here, but he actually had believed in the snake god thing and all that. I don't know if it was Apollo or not. I don't know if I got that. But back in the history, actually, I did something on the Colosseum over there, and the Colosseum over there in Rome, and I showed in a video how that appeared to be a snake from a satellite view coming down. So Rome has this image, this ancient history with these snakes gods, and snake being a part of their ancient history. Okay, now this is all through my discoveries, but you have to see the other videos. I don't want to get sidetracked. Here is the inside of this hall. Did it leave me? Oh gosh. Nope, I have to go back. Go back. All right, I want to go back up on here again. Here, okay, hold on. Here's the inside of this hall right there. I'm gonna have to go over. I'm on my big screen here. Notice how these guys appear to be snake eyes, the center piece coming down off the snake's nose, and the mouth here, which would be the teeth. Notice that this here appears to be a reptile looking inward at you. Now this is on the inside. Now this is what we would look like our movie theaters and how it goes, or any type of theater where the floor goes down and here's this stage here. But notice how the dome of this building comes in and it has this texturing of that of a snake and the eyes on either side of this building. Now that I'm talking about the eyes, remember when I said that that building is modeled after that of a snake? Now, the closest that I came to with these dome glasses are Vesica Pisces looking glasses here, that they are described, this snake's eye, first of all, this is a snake's eye. And the closest that this comes to being that of a snake eye is even with that of the boa constrictor. And when the boa constrictor sheds its skin, it's go through the shed cycle, it gets what they call an opaque eye. An opaque eye. It's OPAQUE eye, and this is what these resemble. That opaque eye of the boa constrictor when it is shedding its skin, which is appropriate for the scenario that I'm describing here. Because if this building is modeled after the head of a snake, The inside is showing you that this is also a snake. The outside and the interior and the exterior is describing and looking and modeled after a snake. Then these eyes that I'm actually telling you that are opique eyes are actually consistent with what I'm actually stating. Now, not only that, what is also fascinating here is that the opique eye of the boa constrictor, when it is shedding its skin and is being described as I'm describing it here with these windows, these oval shaped windows, also can be described with this glass style. So this is also can be described as an opique glass glass design. So it's the same thing. So the definition are twofold. That of for the snake and that of for the glass that is here. You get me? Are you with me, people? So opique in snake is appropriate here, and opique in this type of window design is appropriate here. So the definition for these windows being here, or the presence of these windows being here, what I'm describing, the description is appropriate for both scenarios, for the snake and for this building, as well as everything that is there. Now, let's go to where else we see the snake and the serpent here. In the Fazzini sculpture, I have a video here. Christ here. This is Christ. This sculpture is of Christ emerging from a nuclear explosion. We all know that there was no nuclear explosion in Christ's time. None recorded, that is, that we all don't know of anyway. So, therefore, what is being described here? I've described in my previous videos that it is describing Christ emerging genetically from a cauldron-like chemistry of genes and genetics. It did not dawn on me until just a week or so ago that what Fazzini is describing by naming this as Christ emerging from a nuclear explosion is not a nuclear explosion. What he is describing is Christ emerging from a nucleus of a cell. From a nucleus of a cell. What cell is he talking about in so much as far as a nucleus? Well, there is a serpent. Again, lo and behold, the snake appears. I have a drawing up in my other video that this is a head of a serpent. And again, I have the serpent going this way with an ape head over to the side. But check this out, people, because it gets better. You can actually see the monkey's head there and see the snake there. But my thing is that it goes both ways. I have this head. It's a two-headed serpent. That one head is going down and the one is coming up. And I have a picture of my drawing. Where are we at here? Right there. There is Christ. You come up and you see the serpent's head there. I'm going to turn it sideways for you. And it has a worm in its mouth, genes in its mouth. Those genes are attaching that of a reptilian ape with a broken chain in its mouth, and it is right here. I've made highlights. There's an eye, there's the nostril, and there's a linking chain. You can Google Fazzini sculpture and go over here to this side and see the ape without the highlights. It's the skull of an ape, people. All right. Now, and the snake. Now, the second serpent that I found is actually at the other end of this, going up towards Christ's waist area. Hold on, I got it upside down, I believe. Hold on, let me get this right. Okay, yeah, we got to go this way. And I added an eye right there. So you have the serpent going this way and as well going that way. I put the eye there, open mouth. And this is what this is symbolizing. This is the nucleus it is describing of all of the creatures that are in there. And one of the two creatures that are in there is the ancient genes of that is being described of through the dinosaur, which is a known history that these people knew, and the serpent, the snake, and the ape. our ape ancestor. All of these descriptions are being described in here as a cell, as a nucleus. How many minutes did I go over? Okay, I'm good. As a nucleus, and Fazzini is not talking about Christ emerging from a nuclear explosion, a nuclear bomb, which makes no sense whatsoever. But here we have me discussing these creatures, these beings, and I'm going to get another picture up here. These beings, and lo and behold, we have a serpent here. Where's my reptilian ape? The reptilian ape is right in here. So when you Google the image, you will be able to locate that, the snake, the worms out of his mouth, the linking chain in the reptilian's mouth, ape's mouth. There is a linking chain, people, that you can physically see on your own without my highlights. Right there. The linking chain being broken through the ape's mouth, showing you a genetic link which was bridged over through this creature and this creature, and it is showing how there was reptile genes introduced into the ape's genes, African genes, and there was a genetic change that calls for the creation and the maintenance program of this genetic manipulation that calls for the creation of Caucasians and all of the civilizations of people that actually emerged off of that, through that of ape, African, Egyptians and Asians, and then Caucasians. This is what this is all describing. A genetic grail to who we truly are. All right. So now we have it, people, that Nervi Hall is talking. This is a cell structure that is describing, let me see how many minutes we got. I don't want to go over here. That is describing the nucleus of a cell, or cells, because there are several creatures in here that I can see. This is a readable grail, people. And it is through the body of the serpent that all of this has actually taken place. So in commemorating all of this, Nervi constructed Nervi Hall to appear on the inside as the head of a snake. There, as everyone being in this building, when you go in this building, you are in the mouth of the snake, as is Christ is in the mouth of the serpent here. And here's one of those oblique windows right there. Okay, the side of the snake's eye, as I described it. And if you go to, I'm going to pass out of this in a minute, the building, it's my position that this building has the hump in it to give rise to that of the snake's head, and on either side the windows are precisely placed where you would expect for them to be in the head of a snake. With that, people, I'm going to end this video there. My name is Jerome Wright, and if you like my video, like it. If you don't. It doesn't make a difference, because I'm dead on point. Thank you. Appreciate you. There's a piece of it here. There's a piece of the building there. It is my position that I've discovered and decoded not only what the building stands for, but what does the sculpture stands for and what goes on inside of the building. Okay? And these cult comparable rituals that I found to be happening. Everybody, Jerome Wright here, and once again you're joining me here on my Jerome Wright channel. Okay, in this video I'm back at the Fazzini sculpture, which is a sculptured supposedly work of art done by Fazzini, I believe back in 1974, and it's located at the now this building from the top that you see, it's my position that that building is designed by the designer, the architect, as being a model, the Nervi Hall. And the Nervi Hall is the building named after its architect and builder, which is Nervi, and it's located in Vatican City, I believe adjacent to that of St. Peter's Square. Okay, that building from a sky view, I don't know if you can see it there, after a snake. This here is a not a cobra head, a boa constrictor's head. It's my position that that's what this building is modeled after. All right. I'll tell you how I get to arriving at that. I only have 15 minutes, so I have to cut through the chase and get to what I'm going to.